You're watching Cox Connections only on Cox 11. According to the 2012 Regional Guide to Hunger, the Foodbank of Southeastern Virginia distributed more than 13.4 million meals to over 414,000 people from 2011 to 2012. Here's a look at how this organization is leading the effort to eliminate hunger in our community.
Today's a really important day for us. We've invited all our local elected officials to learn about the statistics of people who are hungry in our Hampton Roads area. We're going to have lots of people sharing with them what their circumstances are.
For me, it was a series of devastating life events. My husband reaching the end stages of a chronic disease, the loss of a child, loss of a business closing, where I lost my job. You have to take your pride and set it aside and go, this is what I have to do today to get by. The people were non-judgmental. They helped in every way they could. I can't think of a better place to have fortunately found myself in.
We have people from some of our programs. We have someone here from our Kids Cafe. We have someone here from an agency, Chapel, that looks in the faces every day and distributes food to those people that are hungry. We have a booklet that we have printed, and it has every city and county that we serve, and it has exactly how many meals we've served, and along with those, some other statistics. So we want to make sure that our elected officials know what's going on in their areas and different ways they can help us with legislation.
They give you what they can as best they can. I have found some wonderful resources here and a lot of help here and a lot of hope to get you through to the next day. It's not going to sustain you. It's not going to take care of you completely, but it's a place where you can come that will give you just that added extra hand.
People can help in many, many ways. We need volunteers all the time. We have 5,000 people just at this food bank that volunteer on an annual basis. You can also hold a food drive. Any donated food product is so welcomed, and we want you to have food drives at your organizations, in your neighborhoods, at your place of work, and of course you can stroke a check. For every dollar that someone contributes to us, we can leverage that to about $6 worth of product for a family. So we're very economical with the donors' contributions. When I came here 10 years ago, the face of poverty was entirely different. Well, now, guess what? There were people that never thought that they would be in this position. They are people that used to help us. And now they're coming in our doors saying, we are so sorry that we're here, but we have to feed our families. We've seen an increase in food stamps because we have families out there that need the food stamps now. The economy over the last few years has just played incredible havoc with so many families.
Here to talk about the regional impact that the organization is making are Susan Mayo and Kay O'Reilly from the Foodbank of Southeastern Virginia. Thanks for being on the show.
Thank you for having us today.
What a powerful video. Susan, let me start with you. Let's talk a little bit about that regional guide to hunger. What are some of the stats and information, the numbers behind this issue?
Well, the issue is not going away. People are hungry in our community, and we have served more people this year over last year, and also serve them more food, because just the number of people that are food insecure, it's 1 in every 4 people in our service area, and that includes the whole 5-city area of Hampton Roads, the surrounding counties, including Southampton, Franklin. We cover part of Sussex, and we also cover the eastern shore of Virginia. So these are individuals that have found themselves in a situation where perhaps they're unemployed, or maybe there's 2 people working, but they're still not making enough to make ends meet. Or it could possibly be a senior who's living from, their fixed income from month to month, just trying to balance their budget.
Speaking of it, you mentioned through no fault of their own. How is, I mean, we've had some tough times economically. How is the face of hunger changing? What are the misconceptions out there about who's actually in need of these food services? Individuals
that we see may have been a donor not too long ago. It could have been a professional.
So they were giving before, and now they're coming in needing
correct.
The services.
Maybe they had, a high-paying job, and due to restructuring in their organization, they lost that job. They've been unemployed for a while. Maybe they've gotten a new job, but they're not making quite as much as they did when they did previously. We have people that are working multiple jobs, but they're still not making enough to make ends meet. So people who are just challenged by life, it could be possibly a catastrophic situation that occurred, like our, Leslie, who's one of our food bank clients, who, had illness in her family, loss of a job, and other catastrophic things that just caused her to deplete all of her life savings, and she had to sell all of her furniture and moved here to Virginia Beach, and the food bank was her lifeline.
And so what are, I think we're showing some of the stats in terms of the number of meals that have been distributed and the Kids Cafe snack served. So, I mean, it's not just what we would think of your traditional.
Right. When somebody comes to the food bank, they're not getting a week's worth of groceries. They're getting enough food, canned items, pasta, sauces, soups. We supplement it with dairy as available, meat that we rescue from local grocery stores, our food rescue program, bread, and it gets them through those next couple of days. Sometimes that's all they need is enough food to make it through, maybe to the next paycheck. Or it could be that senior that was served by our mobile pantry who wrote us a note and said that she was actually rationing her food to make it stretch throughout the month. And if the food bank didn't show up at her senior high-rise, she would not have had enough food to get through the end of the month. Or it's that child who doesn't have food to eat on a weekend that is provided food
during the week
through our backpack program that we distribute to schools on Fridays.
Well, Kay, let me ask you, being a food bank manager, talk a little bit about those agencies.
Well, we're Eastern Shore Chapel, the Chapel Pantry in Virginia Beach, and we are a partner agency of the food bank. We are one of the nearly 400 agencies that use the food bank. We get food from them, and then we distribute it to others.
So how do you become a partner agency?
You just pay a fee. I think it's about $75 membership a year, and you have to go through an interview process and an education process with the food bank to become a partner agency, and from there it's just making sure that your food pantry is compliant with food bank rules and
Susan
things.
mentioned Leslie, who was in the video, and she made the point that the services that she received food, but more importantly, there was other support services provided. Can you speak to that a little bit in terms of what you're doing at your...
Our main focus is on giving out food. We give food to any resident of Virginia Beach that comes in and has an ID and asks for food. But because it's such a difficult process to get up the courage to come in and ask for food, we make sure that we treat everyone with dignity and respect. We call the individuals that come see us, we call them guests, because hospitality is what we were there to provide in addition to sustenance.
Okay.
And I've also been able to get jobs for several people.
Well, that's wonderful. Well, listen, we're out of time. Thank you for all the great work that you're doing, and we're going to have you guys come back so we can continue this conversation.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Right after the break, watching television has never been easier. With Cox On Demand, you get instant access to thousands of programs and movies on your schedule. Learn more when we come right back.